Hi friends, happy New Year's Eve. I hope that you all have had a really great holiday season and that you have a very great new year. Today I did want to finish up our advent calendar. I know that we're a little bit late on doing that. This holiday season went by crazy fast, especially with our holiday series that we did. So I want to make sure that we finish off our advent calendar before the new year starts. We did get particularly behind this year, so we are starting with day 8. Here's our day 8 chocolate, and this one is Cocoa Nibs with vanilla and hazelnut ganache and dark chocolate. Sounds very tasty, very excited about this one. Let's give it a tap and a try. Boom. Here's our chocolate cross section. Like I've mentioned before with some of these ones, the bottom is very, very thick. Here's our chocolate cross section. Of course, it's dark chocolate. I pretty much always like the dark chocolate ones, but I do really love that little hint of hazelnut that comes in. It could be a little bit stronger, but overall it has a really great flavor. I think the only thing for me is still the bottoms are very, very thick on these, so I wish that they were a little bit thinner, but overall very tasty. Next up, of course, we have number 9. Here's our day 9 chocolate, and this one is a caramel sea salt dark chocolate. I love a salted caramel and dark chocolate, so I am very excited about this one. Let's give it a tap and a try. Not a surprise, I really enjoy this one. The nice dark chocolate has that little bit of bitterness to it, and then the salted caramel kind of balances everything out really nicely. I personally feel like the caramel could actually have a little bit more caramelization on it. I still feel like they could have gone a little bit further to get a little bit deeper caramel flavor, but overall, this is a very, very good one. Next up, day 10. This one has a fun little stamp of like an old-timey dude on it. It says that this is a dark and Madagascar vanilla ganache dark chocolate. Of course, as you already know, I love dark chocolate, so already that's going to be a win, but I'm very excited to give this a try. Let's give it a tap and a try. Here's our chocolate cross section. You can see that the bottom is super thick. The filling is very, very teeny tiny right here. So that is probably like my main thing with this one, is that I'm just mostly tasting dark chocolates. Of course, I enjoy it, but I really wanted to taste more of that filling because the little tiny bit that I tasted really good, but it just was not balanced at all. The bottom is super duper thick, like I said. So needs more of that filling. Aside from that, still pretty good. Of course, now we're on day 11. Oh, that's kind of sad. Day 11 is actually missing. I guess we're going on to day 12. For day 12, we have a caramel sea salt milk chocolate. Of course, as we know, love chocolate and caramel paired together, so very excited. Give it a tap and a try. Here's our cross section. Of course, the caramel is super soft and luscious on the inside. There is a good amount of that for the filling, so I'm really happy with that. And the bottom is not too thick on this one, which again, very happy with. It is definitely sweeter, of course, than dark chocolate as expected, but still very, very tasty. I would still go for the dark chocolate one, of course, but that's just personal preference. This is still a really good one. Unfortunately, all of the days repeat the same exact pattern. So like I said, my main issue with this calendar is simply the fact that it just goes completely in order. I get that, but at the same time, I really look forward to the surprise of not knowing what's going to be in the day when you open it. So that is a bit of a bummer with this calendar. For that reason, I would not get this one again. Like I mentioned before, I found this one at World Market on sale, and the chocolates just sounded like a really tasty thing. Overall, they're pretty good. I just don't think that those would justify me buying this one again. But overall, this has been a pretty tasty calendar, and I did find day 11 hidden in a different day. So we're gonna give that a quick tap and a try. Like I mentioned, that one is honey and green tea milk chocolates. I'm not a fan of that one personally, but that's just because I'm not a big fan of like tea and honey in general. That's just not my thing. To finish off this advent calendar for this season, I want to list my top 5 chocolates from this box because there are quite a few that are really good. So I think that number 5 is going to be probably the dark chocolate ganache with raspberry gelée dark chocolate. I remember that one had, of course, a very thick dark chocolate shell, but overall the flavor was really good. The raspberry was a bit on the artificial side. You could taste that, but you could at least taste it. Whereas some of the other chocolates in this box were a little bit too subtle. So I think that one goes number 5 for me. Next up, we have the chai tea ganache milk chocolate. This one had just a really great flavor, and I remember that kind of starting off the advent calendar really, really well. We've had quite a few caramels in this box, but of course I got to give it to the dark chocolate sea salt caramel. That one is just has a really great flavor, really well rounded overall, very, very tasty. And then number 2 and 1 I think are actually tied for me because I feel like I can't decide between the two. They just are both really good, and I would absolutely have them again. And those ones are the hazelnut and crepe milk chocolates. I think they have little bits of fouilletine in there, which are like little crunchy crepe pieces. And that texture adds something completely different from the rest of the chocolates in this box because everything is very either like smooth or luscious. There's no real textures anywhere except for that one. And it has a great little hazelnut flavor, so it just complements each other really, really well. Absolutely would have that one again. And actually the other one that it's tied with is the other one with hazelnut in this box, which is our Cocoa Nibs with vanilla and hazelnut ganache dark chocolate. That one just has such a great flavor. It has a good amount of filling where you can really taste it, but it's really balanced well with the dark chocolate. It just works really, really well, and I totally would have those again. So while I may not like everything about this box, there definitely were some highlights in here that I really, really enjoyed. Thank you so much for finishing my advent calendar with me, and I especially wanted to say a very big thank you to everyone who really supported and loved the Halloween series as well as our holiday series. I'm so glad that so many of you really enjoy those. We had over 100 items made for both of those series combined, so there was a lot of love that I poured into those series, and I'm really, really happy that so many of you enjoyed them. If you would love to see more stuff like that on the channel, please make sure to let me know, because I am super excited with more stuff ahead, and I definitely want to know what kind of stuff you guys want to see more. I hope that you have a very safe and happy New Year's Eve, as well as a really great New Year's Day, and hopefully a really fantastic 2025 coming up.